Well, we're not actually live, but
Okay,
what's
but
up,
like I say we're
Buttercups?
live because I'm recording.
Okay, yeah, shut up. What's up, Buttercups? I'm Bestie.
What
Welcome
the
to this
fuck was
channel. I don't know
that?
what the fuck this is.
What
I
the
don't like
fuck
this
was
intro. Can we
that?
restart it?
What's up, Buttercups? We're keeping it. We're fucking keeping it.
No, this will be here forever.
Oh, this is great.
Hi, I'm Bestie. I'm joined by this idiot
Oh,
called.
Pug.
What's your name again?
It's Pug.
Bug? Nah.
Yeah, so we are. This is yeah. I can't talk. Terrible quality because we can't stream.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, so, Pug's a big dumb brain.
Yeah.
Small brain, very small brain. So, we're recording our very first episode.
Yeah.
To those of you who don't know what the hell this is, pretty much we were in a VC one lovely night, my
Yeah.
time, and it was like day for him, because time zones, love that. We just started talking about
Oh yeah.
random stuff, and we were like, you know
It was
what?
fun though.
We should create a channel for this kind of stuff.
We were pretty
And I was
much
like,
drunk
yes.
on sleep.
Drunk on no sleep.
Yeah, drunk on sleep. Yeah.
And yeah, this is what was born. Welcome to PB&Talks. P stands for Pog, B stands for Pesty, and we talk.
Okay, so
Oh, you talk.
first order of business. You said no sleep, so we're gonna fucking read some shit from r/no sleep.
Okay, sound.
I can't get copyrighted for this, can
Hopefully not. Do you want me to read?
I? No.
No offense, you're not the best reader.
You know what? Sure. Let me just add Reddit to reading on my fucking thing, because apparently I have files.
You select one and I'll find it. Just go to like.
You know, I could just copy the text and send it to you.
Yeah, that also works.
That would be like a lot faster too.
Just make sure it doesn't exceed 2,000 characters.
Dude, okay. Logged into Reddit, this shitty Pug, back again. Shouldn't have said that because I'm technically plugging shit in, but I don't want to do that. Okay,
Oh, well.
r/no sleep. So, pick a number between 1 and something.
I choose
Pick a fucking number.
4.
2, 3, 4. Okay!
What's it called?
I came home to find a twisted scavenger hunt waiting for me.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, it's a long one!
Oh, perfect. For some of you who don't know, aka all of you, I love voice acting, so this is gonna be fun. Send it to me.
I'm putting it in pictures chat.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Oh, it's over 2,000 characters. Never mind.
Yeah, I see it. Don't worry. I see it. Okay. Let's start reading. I'm gonna guess, is it on your screen or no?
Oh, yes, on my screen, but they
Okay.
can't see it.
Okay, cool. Doesn't matter. You're here for listening, not for reading. I came home to find a twisted scavenger hunt waiting. I've been out of my house for a few days, and upon my return earlier, I found things a bit different. I could not immediately locate any physical evidence to substantiate this theory. It was more of a, do you ever get the feeling that someone is watching you? I get it all the time. I'd been unpacking my things for about half an hour before I found an unanticipated letter scrawled on the half sheet of paper left in one of my kitchen drawers. I glanced around the room, reading wearily several times before reading it. Hello, darling. I see you are packing your things up. I hope you are not planning on moving. I do think I overheard you talking to someone on the phone about leaving only for a few days, though. So I thought I'd fix a special surprise for your homecoming. A scavenger hunt. Here is your first clue. When it's time to get some rest, you get so comfy in your nest. But what about your special guest? At nighttime, where does he like best? Good luck. I know you can do it. I must confess that the contents of this letter sent a chill down my spine. I can't quite tell you what drove me to actually search for the next clue. instead of turning on my heels and sprinting out the door. But I proceeded to the bedroom. Clearly, my nest was my bed. Simple enough. I was a little discouraged when I did not discover the next clue upon or alongside my bed until I realized that I was meant to find his preferred resting place. I checked the closet, the far corner of my room, everywhere. Finally, it clicked. Holding my breath, I extended one hand to feel underneath my bed frame and ripped the next clue beneath it.
Oh, you've checked everywhere but under your bed.
Oh, do you want to read the italics?
What?
Want to read the italics?
Um. Oh. Wait.
You found me.
Oh, that thing. Okay. You found me! One step closer to your prize. My favorite nights are spent down here with you, listening to your breaths, steady and peaceful, feeling the bed settle above me as you shift in your sleep. It's the closet thing to heaven on earth.
The closest.
Fucking hell, I told you I can't read. It's the closest thing to heaven on earth. Once I even reached up with a pair of scissors and snipped off a few strands of hair. I kept the clippings in my mouth for days. You didn't even miss it. I promise. Here's your next clue. You're hungry and your neck... You know what, Bestie? You can read it, because I can't fucking see.
Sure. You're hungry and you need a snack. Head to this room. Food it does not lack. But what about when you turn your back? Where's the food for your hungry Jack? Jacksepticeye? Where? Okay, the kitchen. Okay, the kitchen. Following the clue, I crept towards the snack cupboard. I threw the cabinet open, anxious of what might be inside, but surprised when there was no hint taped to the shelves. I tore through the snacks, discarding boxes of crackers and cookies on the floor, until the cupboard was completely empty, and still no clue. Rereading the text in my head, I suddenly recalled the other cabinet of snack foods. I barely opened it since I started to become more conscious about what I'm putting in my body. Upon opening it, I immediately...
Is she/he eating all of the snacks that they pull out?
No, they're throwing it on the floor. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
Upon opening it, I immediately uncovered a folded clue atop a mess of Twinkie wrappers. I hope you don't mind, but a man's gotta eat. I have noticed how delicious you've begun to look since you gave up these sinful snacks. Once I've gotten hold of my loot, I creep back out of sight. I think of you as I squeeze the sweet cream into my mouth. I can only imagine how sweet you taste. I can't wait to find out. Here is your next clue. It's bath time for my beauty queen. Slip off your clothes to get nice and clean. But where am I during the steamy scene? I see it all, yet remain unseen.
Mirror.
I shuddered audibly, that sickening feeling of being watched only grew. I snuck to the bathroom, instantly searching for where this man could remain, hidden in such a private area. Fear grew into anger as I exhaled a long sigh. Peering up at the large air vent in the ceiling, I dragged the step stool from my bedroom and positioned it beneath the opening before stepping onto it. I had to stretch quite a bit to reach, but he was kind enough to leave a corner to grab onto. I pulled it out and read it. Congratulations! This is your last clue. I must say, there's nothing more pleasing than watching you submerge yourself in a tub full of bubbles. It does get better for me as the bubbles subside and I can see your body, slick and wet. The next clue brings you to your prize. Come meet me, my favorite doll. I'm throwing a party, and you're the belle of the ball. To find your prince, up the ladder you must crawl. Once you see me, you'll most certainly fall. The only thing that resembles a ladder in my home is a collapsing staircase to my attic, so it was naturally the first place to look. Gathering both my courage and a knife, I tiptoed upstairs. I was worried, wondering if he was watching me, but I had resolved to get rid of him once and for all at that point. I outstretched one arm to grasp the cord hanging from the ceiling and yanked it down with some effort, exposing the hidden staircase. I must have been absolutely nuts, because I climbed up those shoddy steps to meet the constructor of this repulsive game. The overwhelming darkness of the room forced me to use the flashlight feature on my phone to maneuver its area as I held the knife firmly in my right hand. Slowly, I made my way through an unfamiliar yet distinct path through the multitude of storage boxes in the dusty attic. I reached a clearing towards the back corner of the room and stopped to take in my surroundings, completely horrified. A large banner, assembled from loose papers, hung on the wall, with the word "Surprise" painted on it, a rusty brown material. Moving forward, I observed 5 chairs arranged around the small tables. 3 of them were occupied by my old dolls, their hair cut to match my own, with highly pigmented makeup haphazardly smeared on their graying faces. A tea set sat on the table, with one cup placed at each of the 5 settings. A crown sat on the flat of the fourth seat, leading me to assume that setting was intended for me. I was perplexed to find the fifth chair empty, pushed out from the surface of the table. I could perceive no sign of the author of the notes, and the room was entirely silent save for the sound of my staggering breaths. I gingerly crept around the table until my foot made contact with the soft substance. Directing the light of my phone downward, I was stunned to discover the man lying motionless on the floor. Along with the discovery, I was hit with a slightly sweet smell of decay. It wasn't an overwhelmingly pungent odor. It was cold up there, and the body appeared relatively fresh. I crouched down to get a better look at him. He was a small thing with long, greasy hair. I noted that his eyes were swollen and red, and snot was crusted around his nose. He had constructed a pink tea dress with old scraps of fabric, his flesh starting to bloat, strained against the material. Some of the seams had already torn and burst. Rouge makeup was caked on his cheeks. Surprise indeed, fucker, I thought aloud with a snicker. Straightening into a standing position, I steadied the heel of my shoe on his forehead. How badly I wanted to crush that vile man's skull. I probably would have if my phone hadn't begun to ring at that exact moment. I took my supposed seat at the demented tea party and positioned the crown on my head before answering the phone. "Hello, ma'am. This is Passed Away Fumigators. I just wanted to call up see you were satisfied with your service." The man on the other line rattled off as soon as I picked up. "Oh, yes," I confirmed, glaring down at my unwanted guest. "I can already tell that the problem is fixed. The pests in this house, they were out of control." Ooh, I like that. I like.
Why is out of control underlined?
I don't know. I'm gonna click on it.
Yeah, me too.
I clicked on it.
What?
For
Oh, it's
creation.
just someone's stories.
Ah, very nice.
Got it, okay.
I like it. That was a really good story.
That
I love
was.
No Sleep so good.
Well, that's the
I
first
should probably
thing for
not be
PB&Talks.
reading it though because it's like, you know, not close to me going to bed. But oh well.
Well, that was like a 13-minute long thing, so.
True. Oh, I like this.
Okay, let's get into topics we actually wrote down.
Yeah. I say doing it like no sleep, like every episode would be fun.
Dude, it
By the way,
would,
we
but
have
like
no
we
clue what we're
shouldn't.
gonna be doing with this channel.
I
We're
don't
just gonna
think
be
we should
talking.
keep a standard of every time we do this have a no sleep.
Not every time,
Yeah.
but you know, every now and then.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wanna
with the
talk about
topics.
space aliens?
Space aliens? Well, just aliens.
Space aliens.
You know what? Sure, let's do it. So, today's topic shall be aliens. This might even go into a part 2. Who knows?
It won't.
We don't
It
know how
won't.
long
We're gonna do all this in one episode.
Oh, fun. Very fun.
Okay, so like, me and you are definitely on the same page that aliens have to exist.
Oh god, yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. What's the definition of it?
An alien, in my definition of an alien, is a creature, a sentient creature that is on another, from another planet, basically.
That ain't Earth.
Yeah, one that isn't Earth. A sentient creature that's on another planet that isn't Earth. Maybe one that isn't even sentient. Something that you can know without a doubt is alive.
It's alive, but that's the thing. Like plants are alive.
Well, then
They're living things.
So, an alien, I think.
It is alien, but the term for alien that way would be unknown. So, like seeing a plant that you've never seen before, that would be considered alien to you because you've never seen it
I'm
before.
gonna
You don't
keep
know what
it,
it is.
like I said,
To
a
sentient creature.
Yeah.
That is not from
As
Earth.
far as plants and animals go, the animals, I would say, are just alien animals, and plants, alien plants. That's what I would call them, but...
Yeah? Oh no, yeah, but, well, knowing humans, if we ever discover those things, if we don't die before then, we'll just call it some random bullshit.
Yeah, we would. Or the person that finds it would name it after themselves.
Oh god, yeah, obviously. Elon Musk, get to work. Every plant is called Elon.
Names one
This
Muscow.
is Elon 1, this is Elon Jr. But aliens, I'd say, I'd like to think, we're definitely not the only ones on this planet.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I'd say...
Not the planet, the universe.
Okay, but with the plant thing, I say I don't think we should name it anything. I don't think we should name it. If there are plants, there's a possibility there are also sentient creatures where the plants are.
Most likely,
so
yeah.
I would say we should look for those, and we shouldn't name the plants anything. Or have a temporary name. We shouldn't stick with one thing, because that would be kind of rude, wouldn't it?
True, but I agree.
So, like, if you go somewhere and you find a plant, what if that plant means something more to them?
True, but if you think, okay, just think about language. I know language is one of the topics, but no, just think, I'm just gonna go on a very small little thing on language.
Okay.
In some languages, something means a lot more than it does, we'll say, if you translate it to English.
Yeah.
So I'd say that kind of be the same. Because we would still need a term for that plant if we end up studying it. If we end up moving, somehow being able to live on a planet, a different planet. Move humans to live on a different planet. We'd need a term for it. We couldn't just call it something temporary and then just no name for it.
Yeah.
We'd have our own term. It'll be translatable if the alien species would have their own language, which I'm gonna guess they would.
Yeah, of course.
Every language is made up, technically.
Technically, yeah, it is. It is. Like, every language is just an assortment of noises and sounds that we perceive as something else.
Just us opening our mouths and moving our voice in a way, we're causing vibrations.
Yeah.
That other people can understand.
About that, when you think about that, it's crazy to think how many vibrations make a voice.
Oh yeah, true. Because it goes with tone of voice.
Like, when you look at something vibrate, you can see how fast it's moving.
Yeah.
But when you're moving your vocal cords, it's doing that, like, the same, but on, like, it's, like, on cocaine, and it's going, like, from one thing to another in, like, not even a second.
Oh yeah, and sometimes you can't see it when people are talking. You can see their necks moving, and even when you're talking, if you put your, like, fingers on your neck, you can feel the vibrations.
Yeah, it's like so fast and so many vibrations. There has to be more than that. It's like little tiny vibrations making up each one.
It's like you're putting your hand on a speaker.
It is.
It's really cool. I love doing it. So weird.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, I love how we went to language.
Yeah, I know. Back to
That'll
aliens.
be a topic for another time.
What do you think aliens would look like?
Let's say our stereotypical vision of aliens is just, it's stereotypical.
Little green guy.
I don't like it. Yeah, it's a little green guy with a big head and a tiny body. That ain't, well, technically it is an alien. Pug. Hug.
Sorry, I had that on as an
Silent.
alarm.
I will create a rules channel in this thing.
I
where you
had
can
an
go back.
alarm, man.
I don't hear.
Okay.
But I don't think the way there may be things that have that look to them, but that
I don't think
brings
it's.
the question: where did we get that look from? How did we get that look for aliens?
I think maybe someone just had a child and it looked weird, and then they started amplifying how weird that child
Actually,
looked.
yeah, no, that's actually very probable.
Because
No, that's very probable because before they had names.
there are an exceptional amount of stories of people having children and calling them demons or aliens or something.
Oh god, yeah.
It's
Before
a
they had an
very
actual term for
probable
it, before they
theory.
had a term for it as a disability or as a dysmorphia or something like that, they just went, he's weird, fuck him into the woods to die.
Basically, there are so many stories. They have stories on History Channel about that.
It's weird.
It
But to
is.
think, you have a child and it just looks weird and you're just like, what is that? That is not human. That's an alien. I gave birth to an alien. That's how aliens look. But it's weird. Just our look of aliens. I'd love to meet an alien, to be honest. I
Honestly,
know I won't.
I feel like they would be really nice.
No, I see. I feel like it could be a bit with the way humans are.
Yeah.
There's so many of us where there's some nice, and then there's some that are exceptionally rude, and then there's those absolutely corrupt bastards. But
I feel like humans
maybe not.
in the beginning were not like that at all.
What? Being oh no, we were terrible.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, technically none of us would actually know what happened, but you know.
Yeah. But like there were obviously terrible humans like before we have cities and everything like that. But I feel like there weren't as many cuz it would be harder to make everything as quickly as humans did without there being a lot of cooperation.
Very true.
You know what
Because
I wonder?
hmm?
I wonder if gay people existed. Like
Oh
before
god, yeah,
we had
obviously.
cities and stuff.
Obviously.
Do you think they were accepted instantly, or do you think it would be like now where people are like against it?
I feel like no, people used to be accepted. But
Yeah.
what happened was there was a certain time frame where like a certain person mocked them as being bad and then everyone just went against it.
Well, yeah. If you call everything bad, it makes you better.
Sorry. Sorry, I have a cough. Hitler.
Okay. It makes you feel better.
It's a terrible world we live in.
It
But
really
at
is.
the same time, it would be nice to change, but it's completely impossible to change the minds of everyone. Because if you think about it, the thing is homophobia, racism, all of that. I love when we're talking about aliens, but we're talking about this. Literally, this is gonna happen in every episode. We're just gonna go off on rants.
Well, that's what a
Those have
podcast is,
existed.
man.
True. That it's always existed. Racism, phobia, transphobia, all of that has always existed. We're never going to be able to get rid of it.
You can see it in animals.
At least one person that will doubt it.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Continue talking.
Okay. So Bestie's gone. I'm looking at the fucking possible topics that we have in the Discord. I'm looking at this and it's fucking weird. I don't even know what the word is.
Which word don't you know?
I swear I turned it on silent.
Are you talking about boom slang?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen that. I've heard it.
I told you about it. I told you about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it another time.
Okay.
I'd say, you know what? Let's not focus on, let's say, like, alien. Let's focus on the term, actually, like, space.
Yeah.
And then talk about the subheadings, because otherwise we're just going to keep going on rants.
Yeah.
But the thing that I was saying, it's always existed. It will always exist. There will always be at least one person who hates it, who is against another person.
Yeah.
That will always exist. That's always existed. Because back in prehistoric times, it used to always be kill or be killed. Literally.
Yeah.
For survival, it was kill or be killed. That's the way, but then we evolved. We've gotten better, but at the same time, we're no better than, what, millions of years ago. It's just,
I don't understand how humans went to the top of the food chain.
By killing everything.
You know, they killed everything, but the thing is, everything could still kill them.
True, but that's the thing, we advanced our technology. Here's the dilemma, I'd say, what it is, on how it's.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about the doggo. You're gonna
The
have
doggo's
to,
fine, man. Everyone loves the doggo.
That's my doggo Lila. Apologies for her. But I remember reading this thing. The difference between us and we'll say animals is that we have a moral compass to know what's right or wrong.
Yeah.
But we morally choose wrong. Whereas an animal doesn't technically have that unless it's trained by us humans. Otherwise, it doesn't have a moral compass. It just does what it does.
Well, training is basically just slavery.
No, training is literally getting the human perception into the animal.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's giving them a moral compass.
Oh.
Like, think of a lion. It will hunt. It's not thinking, should I hunt? Should I not hunt? Will I go eat a plant? No, it's not thinking that.
I wonder if
It's
you could
going,
make a lion become a herbivore.
No, you can't. It needs a certain amount of protein to survive, and there's not much that it could. There's nothing that it could survive off of to where it could actually sustainably live. The game theorist, well, technically the film theorist, he did an episode on how Simba survived. Throughout the whole Lion King course when he was out in the outskirts of the Sahara, or wherever the hell it is. It's a really interesting episode.
Speaking of that, do you think that means veganism can't fully be a thing?
Veganism can be a thing. Okay, so humans have evolved to a point where we can digest stuff. There are still humans out there that can only digest protein. They can only digest meat. If you were to give them, we'll say, a lettuce, if they were to eat that, they would die. Give them milk, they will die. Not lactose tolerant, it's just their digestive systems cannot process it. It's the fact that most humans have evolved to a point where we can digest stuff like that, and we know what gives us our protein. Veganism can work, but it's depending. No, technically, depends on how. If you're, I don't want to get into this topic.
Okay.
I'm gonna add that to things. All I'm saying is that veganism, if it's doing it to solve, global warming, depending on how you do it, it won't solve global warming. If we all went vegan, it would not.
Vegan won't do anything. It's basically just letting certain species of animals.
No. It does have health benefits. It has health benefits, but
it also has.
It does not make the environment better. If you're thinking,
Yeah.
I have a friend who's vegan, but he's not doing it to save the environment. He's doing it for health benefits. That I understand with. If you're doing it for saving the environment, to reduce gas emissions, you have to watch what you eat, because there are things. Okay, I'm not going into this right now. I'm adding that as a topic.
Got it.
I just did something.
I don't think it should exist. I don't think anyone should believe like that. But I do know that some people see it as something. I don't want to tell them it's wrong.
It isn't wrong. That's the thing. Some people, okay, there are for me. I try not to be. I try not to say I'm a picky eater, but I know I kind of sometimes am. There are certain meats where I can't eat them. It's the taste, it's the texture, it's just the smell of it. I can't consume it without feeling utterly sick.
For me, that's mayonnaise.
Exactly. Everyone has their certain foods. For some people, well, they might turn vegan because they just can't eat those kind of foods.
They shouldn't. I don't feel like you should.
But that's health. that's got to do with health,
Yeah.
not
I feel
save
like
the
anyone
environment.
that says they're doing it for the environment is bullshitting it.
No, you can do it for the environment, but you cannot eat soya. Nothing soya, because all soya comes from the Amazon. The Amazon's getting chopped down to make soya farms. So if you're eating soya, you're just making it worse. You have to eat locally grown stuff. You have to. It's a whole list, and I'm gonna get into this rant later on.
Okay.
And by later on, I mean episode or whatever the hell it may be.
Where'd you type it?
What do you mean?
Did you type it in
Possible
yet?
topics. Yeah, humans.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I feel like humans is gonna be like 2 to 3 episodes because we are not gonna get through all those because they're so
Humans are
wide
messed
and different.
up.
Let's continue with space.
When we're talking about aliens, we're just talking about what could be. When we're talking about humans, we're talking about what went wrong.
Oh, I'm gonna so much stuff. Okay, let's go back to space. So, aliens, planets, all that crap. Other creatures, would love to meet them, never will. I am going to invent time travel in the future. I will travel to the future and I will meet aliens. I don't give a shit. I want to meet like a different species.
You want to meet a slime creature?
Yeah, I do. I do. I would meet a slime creature that's purple.
So I know it's probably impossible that because pugs were years of fucking humans smashing them with bricks, but
Genetic mutation.
Yeah, but I know that, but I really
Ooh,
want to find a species of sentient pugs.
That can talk.
No, you like go to where they live, and everything's just like at waist level. The tallest buildings are literally just the size of one house.
Oh my.
Oh, I really want to see something like that.
Oh, that
like Corginia in Infinity Train.
Huh?
Bestie, have you not seen Infinity Train?
No.
Oh, fuck. Bestie, now I gotta send this to you.
You know what? I do have a list of movies to watch, so I'm gonna add that to the list. Let me find it. Okay. Let's continue talking about aliens and planets.
Okay, so this is a 2-minute clip.
I'm not gonna watch it now.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna put it in the chat so you can watch it
Okay.
later.
So the topics we need to talk about are aliens, planets, Earth, world we moved Earth.
Every
time I steer off course, Paul gets to slap me. If we ever meet real life.
Oh shit! Let me get my phone out.
Counting every time that happens.
Every time, man. Every time. Dude, what if I tried to make you steer off?
It's so easy to get me on a rant. That's the thing. I do a lot of public speaking and debating on my school.
Oh
so
shit!
It's so easy to get me on a rant.
I forgot to tell you. I got Turtle's address today.
Bug. What did I say before we started recording?
What? No, the turtle out back. No, but I did. Bro, okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
Zip it, talk about after.
Fine, I will. It was funny though. Dude, I offered it to someone,
Aliens. Very nice.
Bro, this guy looks like
I'd love to meet.
Do you know who looks like a despawn? An alien. You know who looks like an alien? That guy.
Fuck, shut up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna take over PB&Talks.
I don't like the rules. You know, fuck the rules, honestly. Okay.
See, I like to think of the topic of planets a lot, cause it is proven there is a planet in our Milky Way that is like hundreds of times bigger than Earth, and yet we can't find it.
Yeah. Isn't it Planet X?
Planet 9 is Planet X.
Yeah, it's known as Planet X too.
Planet 9 is the planet that can be almost the same. It's almost the same as Earth, and we could probably live on it. Planet X. It's so fucking weird.
I find that strange. What on that planet makes it so that you can't see it at all?
It's so weird.
It's
No, I
like
think
it
it's
looks
not
it
bigger than Earth. It's
reflects
bigger than
light.
Jupiter. It's bigger than Jupiter, the biggest
Yeah, I
planet in
know.
our solar system, and we can't fucking find it.
I find that
It's so
strange.
weird.
Okay,
Like,
when we're
is it the
talking about
atmosphere?
aliens,
Is it like does it camouflage somehow?
I
Like,
feel
what is
like
it?
its atmosphere kind of reflects light in such a way that what you're seeing is just the space behind it. Or
Let's say,
space next
you
to
know
it.
what? Let's say this. Scientifically speaking, it's that.
Yeah.
Human speaking, me speaking, it's aliens.
Yeah, but like
They're monitoring us.
when you think about it, it sounds fucking crazy. It sounds like you're on drugs or something, but it could.
That's saying it very
What
much.
are, I mean, what are
like
the
that.
chances that there's a planet
'Cause
bigger than every other one we can find in our solar
how did
system?
we find out about it? Is
and
the
it's
question
gone.
then. How did we find out about it? If
I
if
assume
we can't find where it is, how do we? I feel like
I was saying before with the camouflage is in it
yeah.
has a light reflect
light
off of it in a certain way. It could have been at just the right moment where the sun reflected on it and its atmosphere wasn't in a way where it could reflect it.
Or the whole thing is just vampires.
No, but oh, what? Okay, so you know how we're making fucking what's it called? Do you know that like paint that you can buy
Yeah.
where it is so dark it like absorbs most of the light so you can't see shapes when you're looking straight at it.
I think so.
I forget what it's called. Let me look.
The black is black.
Yeah, the black's black. Vanta black.
Oh,
Vanta
no.
black.
That is gonna get me into another fucking rant pug. No, please,
so-
no.
Okay. So you know how it's that black? What if the planet?
I'm adding that into a topic.
What if the planet's surface is just burnt to a crisp? Like what if it's just burnt to a crisp and it's so far out in the galaxy the light cannot shine on it enough to make it to make it visible, the surface of it.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, that'd be cool.
Or
By
it
the way,
could
just
be
quickly
like a
look at
planet
now
full of
before
coal.
you go on. Please look into possible topics and look what I put at the very last thing of humans. Just look at it. Don't read it. Just look at it.
Yeah, okay.
Wait for me to go on a rant about that.
Yeah, okay, but like, it could be coal because there is a planet that we know about that is literally just compressed diamonds.
Oh yeah, that's
Doesn't it have like wasp in it?
no, it's literally one of our planets that we have in the solar system.
Wait, is it in the solar system?
Yes, it's in the solar system. Is it Saturn? It's either Saturn
no,
or Neptune
there's like
that
one...
rains Jupiter rains diamonds.
No, there's a planet far away that I believe it's real. It's like just a planet full of compressed diamonds. The surface of it is literally just compressed diamonds.
Oh, that's in another universe.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's in another.
But we know about it, and
have Chrome up.
if there can be a fucking planet that has that much pressure on it and has a mineral we can find on Earth there, that could mean that this planet is like a mineral like coal or something darker.
55 Cancri E. That's what it's called.
It is?
The alien planet, a so-called super Earth, is called 55 Cancri E and was discovered in 2004. Nearby star in our Milky Way. Okay, never mind. So it's a star. It's a planet, but it's around a nearby star.
Huh.
So we have a lot more planets than just the main 9 that we have.
How many planets are in our solar system we don't know about, or that we do know about we aren't taught about?
There's gonna be so many, obviously. We just haven't. Think about it. It took us. Okay, so 2004, we discovered this planet. We discovered the other planets ages and ages ago with Galileo. But if we're discovering new planets like Planet X, we're discovering 55 Cancri E. It's how many more is there? Because there can't just be 9 in our huge solar system.
Okay.
That can't be it.
Okay, so this is kind of going off topic, but it's also kind of not. Sandy made a video in Sky Factory where he made a universe that was full of round planets of diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's kind of true. Because, like, you can make anything you want. With how big the solar system is, I feel like every one thing on our planet, there could be a planet fully made of that somewhere else.
Oh yeah. You know what? I think the reason we are having to discover these, because the 9 planets in our solar system, they have a definite path.
Yeah.
They all circle around the sun. I don't think the other planets might circle around the sun because of their atmosphere, or because of where they're located. I don't think they have a definite path as we do. Like the way Earth has 365 and a quarter, it takes 365 and a quarter days for it to go around the sun. I don't think the other planets do, the ones that we haven't discovered. That's why we haven't discovered them, because they are unpredictable.
Bro, like, Happy New Year, by the way.
Yes, Happy New Year to everyone. But I think that's why we might have never seen the other planet, because it's unpredictable. You don't know where it is. With the other planets, we can predict where it is.
Okay, so we know that the moon can revolve around Earth because of its gravitational pull. What if... Okay, so this is the big fucking if. What if Planet X isn't even in our solar system anymore? What if it was revolving around a giant asteroid that we couldn't see? That was really far away.
That could be true.
And then the asteroid was just going so fast and Planet X was going with it. It just passed our solar system and Planet X went with it. But it was in a position where we could see it when it passed by.
That would explain why we can't fucking find it.
Like, what if Planet X was just there for a little bit, but then gone? Because we know how far away our sun can fucking pull planets.
Oh yeah.
If we found a planet bigger than our own, it could be pulled by an asteroid millions of fucking miles away, probably like multiple, maybe even another galaxy away. I feel like that would be possible.
Holy hell.
Like,
I never
what?
thought
So,
about that.
our galaxy...
Oh, send that to NASA.
But what if our galaxy is actually revolving around a bigger galaxy?
Oh, that's very likely. The universe is infinitely expanding.
Yeah, it is, and it's also infinitely dying.
Yeah.
But
it's in a loop.
Yeah, it is. It's like a giant loop.
But technically, if it's infinitely expanding and infinitely dying, would it technically not exist? Technically doesn't exist, but it does.
It is always there, but it's always there.
Question is, how
places.
do you infinitely die? Because we're not living in a video game.
So right now, this is the same thing that I have something that's kind of like the same thing as that. When you walk somewhere, you're technically living in one place for one moment and then dying in that same place later on. You're not there. That's basically what it is.
But you're not dying.
You're not dying, but there's a part of you that does die on the way there.
Okay, I understand that logic, but at the same time, it makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense, but when you think about how large the universe it really is, it kind of does. So
think about infinite means it goes on forever. There's no end to it. If there is no end to it, it cannot die technically.
Wait, can we talk about where the universe is going? Because it is infinitely going outwards. Can we talk about what it is going through? Like space. What is space? Is it just one black?
What does matter?
Is it just one big black canvas? Like you have a black canvas and you spill water on it and it's just going.
True.
Could there be an end? I feel like there has to be an end.
I don't think there is an end.
But how could
How
could something like that exist? How could there be this giant thing that has no end, no start, nothing? It's just a black canvas. I don't understand that.
Minecraft.
No, my mind can't wrap around that. Minecraft does have an end.
No, but yeah. No, but think about it. You could fly up infinitely. You can fly up all the hell you want.
You can fly up.
Obviously,
infinitely.
it has.
But
yeah,
Earth,
I know what you mean.
So Earth is known to end. Earth has to end,
yes.
and its end is the start. It's a big circle. So
Sphere.
Sphere, okay, but humans have always known there has to be an end. Everything that is on Earth, there is an end to it.
On Earth, yes, but that's the thing.
But
That's Earth.
our solar system has to end. Everything we know has to end. But space, in our mind, does not end.
Space is a matter. It can be created. But technically, matter cannot be created or destroyed, only morphed into a different shape.
Infinity has no shape.
True. But if we believe the Big Bang happened, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't believe. Okay, the Big Bang, I understand. 1, where the fuck did we come up with that? 2, how the fuck can we prove it? 3, I don't believe in it.
I don't think the Big Bang could have actually. I don't feel like that could have created the universe. I think something else had to create the universe.
But that's the thing. Here's the thing with that theory. There couldn't have been nothing and then just all of a sudden, poof, something. That can't happen. But also, there had to have been a start.
Here's the thing. If the Big Bang happened in this part of space, that means it theoretically could happen somewhere else. Something else could have made another universe in another area, therefore making a multiverse.
Oh no, I'm gonna go into more off topic.
No, this is technically on topic. I feel like
no.
So our universe is known as this giant thing that's infinitely expanding and infinitely dying at the same time. And it started by the Big Bang.
Yes.
Big Bang is basically smacking Flint together.
No, I need to get my friend here, because he was talking about like the multiverse and stuff like that.
The multiverse has to, in my opinion, there has to be a multiverse. There's no fucking way the Big Bang happened and it could not happen anywhere else.
But the multiverse is like a thing of where actions performed. So me doing this right now, that is one action sphering off, and my words, me saying these words, spheres off into other directions, where it could have gone one way, but it could have gone a different way.
Those are alternate timelines.
Yes, but that's technically considered a multiverse.
No, I consider a multiverse another universe. Space is a giant canvas. The universe is one drop of water expanding. There can be another universe in another place. Another drop of water somewhere else.
Another drop of water that will eventually meet.
Yeah. The Big Bang happened on this giant canvas, and it's continuing to go outwards and continuing to dry up in the middle. That can happen somewhere else.
But here's the question. It's continuing to go outwards. But then what's beyond that? There can't be it can't keep going onwards. If there's something beyond that, it's already created.
It just continues.
It's already created. No, but think about a ripple in water, right?
Uh-huh.
There's still the water around it before it gets there. So technically there's already something there. So technically the universe is already there. But it just doesn't have stars, planets, anything like that.
Here's the thing. A ripple in water, it can bring air down into it, making bubbles.
Uh-huh.
When the Big Bang happened, it took the energy there down into it and made planets.
No, but it's the theory of it's infinitely expanding. How can it be infinitely... How can it be expanding if there's... So it's... Okay. Think of it as... I'm trying to think. Your water droplet, right? You have a blank canvas. There's something there, that means. Water droplet, if that's the universe infinitely expanding, there's all... How do I explain this? My terms, because I'm terrible at explaining stuff. Okay, take a blank canvas, right?
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's there. There's already something there. You add a drop of water, it will, spread out to a certain point, but there's still stuff around it already.
Yeah.
The universe, the drop of water is the universe. But if it's on the canvas, there's stuff around the water droplet already. So technically it can't be expanding infinitely since there's already...
Okay, so you're saying that it can't be expanded infinitely because there's already something there.
Yes.
So...
Because what can it be expanding into?
Hmm.
What is it expanding into? Because matter, we have a thing of matter cannot be created or destroyed, it only morphs into a different thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Space is just like a giant... Whoa! If there's nothing there, how can you make something?
Exactly. This makes no sense. The way we humans have these rules makes no sense.
You can't tell me that energy, there's so much energy, it literally fucking created a fucking planet out of literally nothing. But do you think space is literally just a giant empty thing full of dust?
I don't think it's that. I think the way it is the different universes I understand. The way you have, there has to be an end. I half believe that, half don't. Because technically, how can it have an end? It will still continue. We'll say, even if we were immortal, completely immortal, we could fly. We could keep flying. We could fly for hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years. It would still keep going. There can't be an end. Because what would be beyond the end? Think of it like your computer. If you go, well, actually, I'd say keyboard for you, or your phone even.
I just thought of something weird.
Mm-hmm.
We say that space has no end and no beginning. Well, it has, yeah. Space has no end, no beginning.
Yeah.
What if it does? What if we're just resetting? We're just going around in a circle, but we don't know it. I mean, yeah, we would have to be able to see ourselves, but if that circle is like, so how the universe is infinitely expanding and infinitely dying, what if it's like a blast of air? It continues to go, but if it was in a circle, it would fade, and then it would continue going, and it would be fading.
I can understand that.
Like, you're running in a circle, you're there, and now you're not there.
Yeah, true. We're just kind of living it in slow motion.
Yeah, we're just living in extremely slow motion. But what if the universe, or space, is literally just that? It's just something going around in a circle, but we don't know it, because we can't see that far.
We can't see that far, and we never get that far.
And it's,
because we keep killing ourselves before we get there.
No, but there's no way to get there. That's the thing. If you looked at it with the telescope, you could not, because you'd be looking at the wall.
Oh, no, I remember reading about this. The reason... So we'll say you had the best telescope, no matter what. You could see to the end of the universe. You wouldn't be seeing to the end of the universe. Because I remember reading this thing. It was... Okay, so we'll say aliens actually exist. Mm-hmm. If they were to look at our planet...
They would see dinosaurs.
From, like... What?
They would see dinosaurs.
Yeah. They'll see dinosaurs, not us.
Because of the light.
Exactly. So that's the thing with us, I think.
Oh, shit!
We can look out beyond a certain point.
We wouldn't even know.
But past that, we can't.
Technically. Wait, about Planet X, what if it was destroyed?
That could also be true.
Because if my thing, it was like rotating around an asteroid or something, and it went by our planet. That could be true, but that means we would have seen a very old version of it.
True.
So it would have passed us a long time.
No, within our solar system. No, within our solar system, I feel like we'd see the. Depending on, I'd say, the telescope, but think about it how we know how the planets look. NASA has gotten pictures of Saturn, like really clear pictures of Saturn. Obviously, we don't know if it's the real time, but I'm gonna guess it would be real time photos of it.
No.
Since we've had astronauts out in space. Well, not real time, but you know.
Okay, well, technically it takes like 2 to 3 minutes for you to see the sun. That's a 2 to 3. So when you look at the sun, that image is from 2 to 3 minutes ago. If that's the sun, Saturn, it could be like shorter time. But, How long did it take to see, Mercury? Not Mercury, what's it called? Pluto.
Pluto. For us to see Pluto.
Yeah.
Pluto is goddamn ages. It's further away than the goddamn.
Planet X is like farther, right?
Planets, it's in our solar system somewhere.
It might be. It's a theory that it's in our solar system. We can't say for sure that it is because we don't know where it is.
We don't know. Yeah, we can't locate it. But that's the thing. How big is our universe then? Have we gone to other universes? We know about other universes.
There has to be other universes.
So that means there is an end to our universe, obviously. We've gotten things of the outside of the quote unquote outside of our universe. But like it's there's an end to our universe, but how big is our universe then?
I feel like what I said about it infinitely going in a circle. 1 second. So, Bestie, are you on Minecraft?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, so I'm gonna demonstrate something. It's gonna be vocal, cause like I don't have a thing set up for.
Wait. Before you continue, I looked up the size of the Milky Way. We are fairly confident that the Milky Way is probably between 100,000 and 150,000 light years across. The observable universe is, of course, much larger. According to current thinking, it is about 93 billion light years in diameter. 93 billion light years is a lot. That's like... That would be as if an alien would be looking at us. 93 billion light years. So technically, your theory of Planet 9 being dead could be really true.
Planet X.
Planet X, sorry, I keep going to Planet 9. But the reason it can't be true that it's destroyed right now is because when we see it, we okay, I don't, when did we discover Planet X?
I don't know, let me look it up.
Planet X discount code. Reading. 1906.
Okay, I feel like telescopes might have just been a smudge on a telescope.
Possible orbit and location of the hypothetical trans-Neptunian planet and became an extensive search for it in the 1906. The hypothetical object Planet X used by Planet 9. It is Planet 9.
It is?
Fucking knew it. Planet 9 ellipsing the central Milky Way with the Sun in the distant Neptune's orbit is shown as a small ellipse around the Sun. Neptune?
What?
Just wait, is Planet 9 one of the... Wait, I'm gonna do a quick little scan. You do your thing on Minecraft.
Okay, so, like I said about the infinite loop, I have a redstone, what's it called? Repeater. Not repeater, a redstone loop, basically. So, in one space, it is there. It has power. And the other spaces, it dies out and it's not there anymore. And then the power comes around and goes back to that space. It's infinitely somewhere, but it's also nowhere.
Technically, it doesn't have a start and end.
Yeah. So if you put a wall, so if you were looking at this from a 2D perspective, looking straight on it, you would only be able to see the part that you are in, the powered part, and then nothing behind it. You would not be able to see the start of it, well, no. You would only be able to see in front. You wouldn't be able to see behind, because, I don't fucking know. I was gonna say something smart, then I fucking lost it.
So there's many different theories on Planet 9, where it's like it's gone out of the orbit of Jupiter, like it could have been one of Jupiter's moons. The size of the planet is about 10 times the size of Earth. It's huge, but at the same time...
Is it bigger than Jupiter?
No, Jupiter is like 200 times bigger.
Than Planet
More than
X.
200 times. What?
It's 200 times bigger than Planet X.
I don't know, one of the two. But the distance, because of the distance, your thing could be true. But the reason your thing of it being destroyed isn't true, for the reason we can't locate it, is what we're seeing, we should still be able to see it then. 100 years doesn't change it.
Ah, okay.
100 years wouldn't change. 100 years would be like a second. I don't know the actual
Okay, but
conversion
when it
rate,
was
but it'd be
discovered,
very
we
low.
didn't have the same telescopes or things that we had today.
Yes, it was nine. It was okay. If it was discovered in 1906, we technically have stronger
So with the
telescopes
part
now.
of it just orbiting away from Earth, that could be true. Because if you think about it, when it was there, that could have been the end of our of how long we could see it. So like
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have a good enough telescope to see it when it was first coming around in our view, and then when it was like
Uh-huh.
right before it exited our view, right before then, we could have had a good enough telescope to see it.
See you saying that it's orbiting, the orbit is leaving. Gave me the idea of what if we're seeing it before it was created?
Huh?
Think of it this way. So the further you get away from Earth, the more light years it is, the more you go technically back in time, right?
Yeah.
But what if Planet X, is going away from us? Not just a circle around the sun, it's going away from us. So by it going away from us, we might not be able to see it because it's technically going back in time to a point where when we look around for it,
That
we
wouldn't
can't
make
see it.
sense.
How so?
If it's going away from us, it's not technically going back in time.
Not back in time, but because it's further away, we're seeing it at a time where it wasn't there.
Here's the thing. When we see it at a time that it was not. No, if we first saw it, I don't think we could see it when it wasn't there. We could see a space where it is, but it's not there because we can't see it when it's there. So, huh? Yeah. When it's there.
Oh, I'm ready to debate.
Whoa. Okay, this is weird. Okay. I see something. What you mean? So we
Can I
did
talk?
not see it until it was created. Is that what you mean? Like that patch was empty, and then it was created, and then we saw it as it got created.
What I'm saying is, okay, so we saw it, okay, think of it this way. So we have Earth. We'll say Planet 9 is just behind Pluto
Uh huh.
in 1906, or
Yeah.
whenever the hell 1906 was when it was discovered. So when we looked out in 1906, we could see it. But what if your theory of it doesn't orbit the sun, it's going away? It might have, if it got like shot out of the atmosphere, it would be on a course going straight away that we would, um, meaning it's getting further away from our view. Think of it as the same as if aliens were
But
to look at
here's the
us
thing:
right now,
when
they'd be seeing
it
dinosaurs.
goes further away, we won't be able to see farther back. We'd be seeing back, but it's slowly going farther up into the future. So when we see it, if it gets shot off of Pluto theoretically,
Uh-huh.
if it gets shot off of that, when we see it, we would be seeing it after it got shot off. But when we don't see it, that would be as it's continuing. We wouldn't be able to see back in time to when it was there, or what it looked like when it was there, or when it was not there. We would just be seeing it not there and it being somewhere nearby. And then when we don't see it, if we see it again, it will be it will be different. But if we went to it, it would not be there. I don't know how to say that.
You
This is
just
confusing. I'm just confusing myself at this point.
the way I see it is with the whole aliens seeing us as seeing the planet as dinosaurs right now, because of because of the light year difference. Because light years isn't years.
Yeah, that
It's
light
the
is slowly going towards them, and they're slowly getting more and more of the story. If Planet
yes.
X was to go farther away, we would still be getting more of the story. It would continuously get more of the story. We would be able to see it continuously. It's just that it would slowly change in size and color because of how far it's getting away from us and what it's going by. We wouldn't be able to see back in time edit. That wouldn't make any sense. If it kept going farther away and we kept getting
No,
the image.
I mean, oh god, it's hard to.
But
We have okay. Before we can can we okay? So with the whole I'm just gonna go back to the aliens with us. Are we agreeing that's a distance thing?
aliens.
So we'll say aliens are 96 million light years away. because they're 96 million light years away, they see dinosaurs. If they were to come closer, they would see the beginning of humans. If they come even closer, they'll start seeing the beginning of mankind. If they come even closer, blah 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 blah.
If aliens exist and they know that we exist, they're going to be much more advanced or much more devanced due to their society crumbling. So if aliens exist and they know that we exist too, that means they are either going to be extremely advanced or not advanced at all because they were advanced and they dropped. They would have to be next to the creation of the universe for them to still be alive and also see us. They would have to be older than us if they know we exist.
But what I'm asking is it the distance that makes them see dinosaurs? So I'm asking, if they were to come closer, would they start seeing the beginning of mankind?
Well, no, they wouldn't. Well, kind of.
So if they were to come right outside our planet, would they still see dinosaurs?
If they were to come right beside our planet, it depends on how fast they were to travel towards the planet. So light years, it is just how long light gets to a certain point. So the light that is traveling towards them, if they were to travel towards Earth, that light would be hitting them faster because they're also going towards the light as it's going towards them. Distance does not matter. The only thing distance is doing is making it a longer time for them to see it. But if they get closer and closer, that light is going to be coming to them faster and faster. So, if you have something that's really far away and continuing to go farther, that light that you see or they're seeing, it's not that it's gonna change. It's that it's just gonna get slower. They're gonna see the image. It's gonna stay still longer, basically. It's basically a higher. No, that's not a good idea. Basically, if a planet is traveling away from Earth and they're trying to look at Earth, it's just going to take longer for it to change.
I looked up the light years, right? Mm-hmm. How long is a light year in Earth year? For most space objects, we use light years to describe their distance. It's not technically how long light takes to travel. It is how we use to describe space objects in distance. Because, think about it, using 6 trillion miles as a thing for 1 light year, so 1 light year equals 6 trillion miles.
1 light year is
6 trillion miles.
Yeah.
So instead of, because we as humans technically can't fathom 6 trillion miles. In a sense, so we use light years.
The amount of time is a year. Well, light year is how far
the distance light travels in 1 Earth. 1 Earth year.
Yeah, how far light can travel in 1 Earth year.
So 1 light year is about 6 trillion miles.
Yeah.
So light travels 6 trillion miles in an Earth year. What am I trying to prove you?
So, I think I know what you're getting at. 1 light year is... So basically, when you say 1 inch, it's basically calling the amount of time as an inch. So like, what a year is now an inch. So 5 years, 5 light years. That's how far. Okay, I understand. So, how far away are we saying the planet is?
The planet is about 250 Earths away, apparently. Let's look up planet 9.
So it's not even a light year.
I don't know. Let's look.
So let's say it's 1 light year away.
No, planet 9 has an orbit, apparently.
No, I'm not talking... Well, it does?
Yeah. It orbits the sun, and the orbit period is 20,000 years.
Wait, how... Okay, that makes no sense. If they don't know if they don't know where it's at, how do they make an orbit for it?
They have the mass of the argument of the perihelion, with apparent magnitude, which is the atmosphere thingy. The semi-major axis.
Okay, so we're talking about light years, and what we're seeing is completely... Well, what aliens are seeing is completely different on what is on Earth now. What if Planet X, when they made everything for it and knew that it was traveling around the sun, what if something bigger pulled it away from the solar system? So it was originally traveling around the sun, but something came along that had a bigger, um, that had a bigger pull of gravity and pulled it away from the solar system. Therefore, it's not visible. It like pulled so far away that you can't see it anymore. Like, what if another solar system? What if it's now in another solar system because that one has a bigger
See,
sun or
the
something?
thing is, there's a debate about its existence because we can't find it.
But we saw it. Are there pictures
But
of it?
did we actually? There is, but at the same time, can you trust a picture? That's the thing. Why? How can we trust? 1906. They saw the possibility of a planet. It's still being debated if it's a planet or a black hole, if it even exists.
It could be a black hole.
That's the thing. We don't know what it is.
You can't
Because we
see
can't
inside of
see
a
it.
black hole. Everything that is there goes
They have
inside.
a picture of it, but at the same time, there's no way we could have gotten that picture. There's no way in hell we could have gotten that picture. The picture of Planet 9 is Planet 9. There's a little thing over there that says that is the sun. That ain't the fucking sun. We could have never gotten this picture and gotten it back to Earth. It makes no sense. Okay, it's on NASA. Though that's the thing. Trusting a governmental organization is never a good thing to do because the government always feeds us lies. Because the government lies. Shocking. But
The government does lie. The government lies
there is
so
debate
much.
in the scientific community on whether it exists. The prediction in the January 20 issue of the Astronomical Journal is based on mathematical modeling. The name of it is Planet 9. Why do they
is
think
Planet
it's
X
there?
named Planet X because it has a big crevice on it that's shaped like an X?
I don't know.
Because, like, I'm looking at pictures of it, and there's, like, a big kind of ravine kind of thing, like, cut inside
Do you
Planet X.
believe that picture? Is the question. Tell me how we got that picture back to Earth. How did we get that picture? Why would it... No, here's the thing. Why would the debate of its existence still be in the air if... The debate of its existence if we have a picture?
The debate is over whether the picture is valid.
Exactly. But no. It's of the planet, not the picture.
So they're saying the picture means that the planet does not exist.
No, what I'm saying is, why is there a debate on the existence? I'm saying we can't trust that picture.
So the thing is, with the picture, there's always going to be a debate over the picture because it's a thing. In that time, when the picture was taken, is this picture good enough? So, is that picture... Well, did the person that take the picture know enough about pictures to forge it and make it fake? Did they have enough materials and did they have enough resources to make a fake photo of a planet?
That's the question. When was this picture made? Secondly, so it's being debated whether this planet exists. That means if there is a debate on whether we have pictures of Saturn. We know Saturn.
Yeah.
We know Pluto exists. We know all these planets because we, one, have pictures, two, we've seen. There are many humans who have seen the planet.
Well, the reason you can't see... Well, no, that doesn't make a good reason.
What do you mean?
If there is a picture of Planet X, that means it is definitely made of a substance that you can see. If it's a real picture.
I don't believe.
Which means we would be able to see it getting smaller as it goes away from our universe.
We have photos of Pluto. But at the same time, Pluto, there's a difference between 1996 Pluto and 2015. It makes no sense. how we could have that picture and be debating its existence. Obviously, like we were there, like, oh, Pluto isn't a planet, because humans are fucking dumb. But if this planet is 12 times larger than Earth, it is not a dwarf planet. The reason for Pluto's existence was because dwarf planet is not counted as a planet because of its size since it's smaller than Russia. Blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Planet 9 is bigger than Earth, meaning that in our terms it would be considered a planet. Why would the existence in NASA still be debated over the world even
Here's the
if
thing about Planet X. Pluto at one point was not there. We didn't know it was there, and then we found Pluto.
okay,
Don't you think that when
but we didn't have pictures of it.
we may not, okay, we didn't have pictures of it, but we knew it was there. And then we got pictures of it. Don't you think when those pictures first came out, people thought it was fake? Until more pictures came. When they couldn't get the pictures of Pluto, they didn't think it was real. But then when they got the pictures of Pluto, they could say it's fake. And then they got more and more, and they became real slowly and slowly. This is the same thing. They got a picture of Planet X, but they can't get another one. And then when they get another one, if they do, it might continue, and it might become a real planet.
Okay, I understand that view, but okay, so let me see this. So if I look that up,
Hey, I'll be right back.
yeah. So what I'm thinking is we have photos. 2 seconds. So we have photos of Pluto. Many photos. You look up photo of Pluto. There's many different photos that come up. Look up photos of Planet 9. A lot of them, they don't look similar in any way. If you think about it, the first 3 photos that pop up don't look. They look similar, but they don't at the same time. Because, well, one, for the amount of stars there's in the sky, that can be kind of debated, I guess. But what doesn't make any sense is how there's different ways on how it's portrayed. I don't. The way it's portrayed, like, there's one photo here that I'm seeing right now. We could not have captured these photos. If if NASA were to capture these photos, they are still looking for the supposed planet. They have not found this planet. They have not. They are NASA, though, again, trusting government organizations. There is there are people who are hoping that uh, there are astronomers in this is on the NASA website. Astronomers, including Batygin and Brown, will begin using the world's most powerful telescopes to search for the object in its predicted orbit. Any object that far away from the sun will be very faint and hard to detect, but astronomers calculate that it should be possible to see it using existing telescopes. Okay, so that means we have not seen this planet yet. Those photos cannot be legitimate, because to get those photos, we'd have to send off sort of aircraft or something to get those photos. That is obviously isn't human. But we have to get it back to Earth. We have now created something strong enough for that. Because it is miles and utter miles away from Pluto. So technically, the existence of Planet 9, those photos, I don't believe. The existence of it, maybe. But the actual photos, I don't believe it. Good. Because there's so many different variations of the photo. If there's so many different graphs, there's so many different photos of it, and none of them make sense. They're all photoshopped. You can tell they're all photoshopped. And it's just, I'm trying to remember what the hell our first debate was about. On if it was on its existence, I believe it does exist, but I don't believe those photos are real. Because we still don't know if it's a planet. If it's about the debate on if it actually exists or not, I think it can exist. but those photos cannot prove the existence. Because if we take Pug's argument of the first photo of Pluto being shown and nobody believing it, that I understand. But how do we know those photos were real in the first place? The way we learn things is we learn things through media and photos, through articles, through news, through stuff like this. If the existence of Planet 9 were real, there wouldn't be much of a debate on it. Like, there's no one saying that Jupiter isn't. Well, there probably is. But the majority of the planet agrees. Jupiter's real, Mercury is real, Mars is real, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, those all exist. They're real. We know they're real. Technically. Technically speaking, we know they're real. But at the same time, we're taking it into the hands of humans, a human's word that they are real. Technically, for all we know, they could not exist. It's got to do with, I guess, belief, in a way. But to think that it's all made up is kind of bizarre, because we have seen there are times where you can see certain planets' orbits, so we know they are real. I don't know, like, half of this makes no sense. And half of this I'm just going on to rants. But what I'm saying is, with Pug's thing of the photos being real, cannot be true. And Pug better be coming back soon, or I swear to God I'm gonna be slapping him. Oh god, that's my rant over. Pug can rant after this. My voice is gonna be gone very soon. Oh. And it's getting late, Jesus Christ. How long have we been recording for is my question. Oh, this will be live streamed next time. Oh god. Oh. The Planet 9. It's interesting. It really is. The fact that I understand the whole we haven't found the planet in our solar system. That I understand. Because we only found a planet like 5 years ago that's made of diamonds. The 55 I'm forgetting what it's called. But that we only found 5 years ago. So I completely understand why we couldn't have found Planet 9. Its existence I believe in. It's just the photos technically cannot be real. In my opinion, since we're still looking through telescopes to try and find it. Let me try searching up Pluto in the NASA website. Because there's only one link that comes up for Planet 9.
Hey, yo, I'm back.
Many things come up. I was on the biggest rant there, Pug. Holy hell.
So, my mom made fajita filling and didn't get any tortillas.
Uh-huh.
So I just flattened bread, so now I have small tacos.
Nice. I just went on a big rant. I'm fucking tired. How long have we been recording?
Let me see. About an hour, 23 minutes.
Cool. Okay, so what was your point? The fact that your point was that the photos can't be real, right?
They can.
I don't believe that.
So you think Planet X is fake?
No. I think Planet X exists. Okay. But I don't think the photos are real.
You don't think it looks like
because
that?
No, those photos are okay. Pug, look up. I'm gonna do something. I think you look it up on your thing. Look up picture of Pluto and look up picture of Planet 9.
Okay. So there are pictures of Pluto, but no pictures of Planet 9 instantly. We go to images, it's just like black holes.
It's either black, it's either blue with the little three thingies through it. But the way it's shown makes no sense. So because if you look through all the photos, they don't make any sense.
So all the photos.
The way where they position the star.
Oh.
Where they position the sun, it makes no sense. I think it's fake. Also, another reason I think it's fake is because in the NASA thingy, I already said this on the recording, but there are astronomers who say that they will be using the world's most powerful telescope to search for the object in its predicted orbit, meaning they're still looking for it, meaning we couldn't have gotten photos of it, and any object that far away from the sun will be very faint and hard to detect. But astronomers calculate that it should be possible to see using existing telescopes. We haven't found it yet. If we
Wait, so
if we got an actual photo, like
with
a
the best
photo of
telescopes
it,
that we have today,
meaning
it is hard to see it.
it will be very faint and really hard to. We have a prediction of its orbit.
Oh.
We know it orbits the sun, but we have yet to actually properly see it because our technology hasn't gone that far. And keep in mind, this is really far. It's far beyond Pluto. So technically, if it is far beyond Pluto, we only got a clear picture of Pluto 4 years ago, or something like that. There's like a thing of, I remember seeing a picture of, it's like 1996. It was like a really blurry picture we got. But like 2015, we got like really clear picture. So, with that logic in mind, in 4 years, if it's further away than Pluto, we could have not gotten a picture of Pluto, Planet 9, that fast in 4 years. Humans are great with technology, but we're not that good. If our strongest telescopes can't see that far yet. Because there are certain points in time where we can see, we'll say, different planets, right? So I know there was a time, I can't remember when, a bit ago, where there was one night you could see 3 planets. I think it was Mars, Venus, and maybe Saturn/Jupiter. I can't agree, maybe. Where you could see them in the sky, you can actually see them. And we have had a thing where we could see Pluto. I think it was like very faint or like very, whatever. But Planet 9, I don't think we could have seen.
Wait. The telescope could barely see Pluto at that time. And we had a day where we could barely see Pluto. Like, you mean with the naked eye, we could barely see Pluto?
Naked eye, I'm pretty sure, I'm looking it up.
If it was with the naked eye, I believe that telescope could have picked up Pluto on that day. If there was a point in time where Pluto was that clear, I think there was a time where Planet X or Planet 9 could have been that clear, and they could have also picked it up on a telescope.
To catch a glimpse of the dwarf planet, you'll need a telescope with at least an 8-inch diameter mirror. According to Sky and Telescope, even at its brightest, Pluto is not visible to the naked eye, and is about 27 million times fainter than Venus. So it's not visible to the naked eye, but you need an 8-inch diameter mirror to actually see it. Which isn't really accessible to every person. And even then, that picture, okay, so you know the pictures of Planet 9? Yeah. Let me go back to Planet 9.
Yeah.
Planet 9. The way we're seeing Planet 9 in these pictures is, we see Planet 9 and where the sun is. It's tiny compared to the sun, right?
Yeah.
How did it get something out there? Obviously it wasn't human, obviously. It would have been a robot or something. But, tell me, where are the other planets? If we could have gotten such a clear picture of that, there had to have been at least, not all the planets could have been just on the right side off. If we could have gotten such a clear of the sun and that planet, where are the other planets? There had to have been at least one planet. We should have at least been able to. Well, I wouldn't say Mercury could have been behind the sun. Sure, let's go with that. Venus, sure. Earth, we should have been able to see Earth. Mars, we technically should have been able to. Jupiter, we should have definitely been able to see.
With the picture thing, you have changed my mind on that. Now I'm starting to see that the picture probably is not real.
Exactly. I would
There's no way you had
honestly,
a clear enough photo to see an X on a planet.
I can understand why you would think it's real, but comparing it to every single picture there is, can't be real. It's hard to know what's real and what's not. And also, again, I've already repeated this thing, but on NASA's official website, if you look at Pluto, the furthest planet from us, there's multiple links that pop up. With Planet 9, there's only one, and it's that it hasn't been discovered yet. Hypothetical. It's still hypothetical. It might still not exist. They have that photo, that same photo that pops up in Google Images. But at the same time, we can't say it's real.
Yeah.
So that's my thing on whether that. No, literally, no. I am going to send you the fucking. And I want you to fuck. Oh, fuck, I'm opening Minecraft.
I just realized how boring this is.
I'm putting it into pictures. No. Open that fucking link right now. Literally, that photo. Okay, go into the thing, and right underneath the photo, please read that caption. That is my debate closed, I win.
Wait. There's no NASA picture that NASA has.
No. Read that little line right underneath the photo. Not above, over.
Artist's concept of a hypothetical planet orbiting far from the sun. Credit Caltech/RHERT IPAC.
Artist's concept. That is a concept. That doesn't actually exist.
Concept.
Point proving case closed. I win.
And this is on NASA's website.
That's it, but they said it's an artist's concept. They are not saying it's a real planet. They're saying it's hypothetical. So
NASA agrees with you. Okay, I can't say no to NASA.
I did not see that. I literally did not see that line until now. I was like, wait, there's a line. I was like, literally the thought that came into my mind was, usually with photos, there's usually a credit of the photo of when it was either when it was taken or by who or by what. So I looked at it and I'm like, artist's concept, I fucking win. Oh, this is why you should never debate against me. I will always fight.
You're on the debate team.
That's a really good thing for fucking speak. So, planets done, dusted. I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that.
Should we end off the episode?
You know what? Let's go on a very. How long is it?
It has been an hour and 32 minutes.
32 minutes.
Oh, I
Let's
want to say something
8
in
minutes.
it. Everyone that's watching, if you're watching or listening, since I have realized how boring it is to watch this, you should just probably listen to this podcast like a normal person, okay? So, like, leave.
Oh, yeah, I said that at the start.
Yeah, you
I
did?
said it at the start. You're probably listening to this since it's just a self.
Yeah, you should probably listen to anything on this channel. If it's live or whatever, you should listen to it. You shouldn't watch it.
It's more of a background thing.
Yeah.
That's with many podcasts. Let's go for
you should
another
go play
7-8
Shell Shock
minutes.
live and listen in, okay?
Honestly, yes. Okay, last 8 minutes. What if we moved the Earth either from its orbital axis? It will still orbit perfectly. You know, the Earth days might be longer, or like if we moved it closer. What do you think would happen? We'll do a very quick thing on.
I don't understand.
So if we moved it away, okay. So we'll say you have the Earth, and you moved it just a bit back. So our days, we'll say, are now 400 days for a year. Let's say that. Our days are now it takes us 400 days to orbit around the sun. We're just that bit further.
And what do you think this is affecting?
What do you think would happen?
To what?
To Earth, if we were to move away. Just that little bit.
Like now?
Yes, we'll say just overnight, someone got a genie and wished that. What do you think would happen? What are your predictions of what would happen?
Well,
I have my predictions.
I think for the first, week, no one would fucking realize it. They would just realize something is weird. Because all the seasons and everything would be a little bit off. I feel like we would have a longer winter. I don't know how they work.
I wouldn't have. with your thing of we wouldn't notice it, but you continue
I feel
talking.
like we
I'm gonna
wouldn't notice it immediately. I feel like when we notice it, the scientists or the government might try to hide it a little bit. I'm sounding like a crazy person right now, but like I feel like they would
no,
try to
Pug,
hide
we're
it.
meant to sound like crazy.
I feel like the government would try to hide it a little bit because like, how the fuck are you gonna explain that? How the fuck are you gonna explain to society that that happened and something you don't know what it was, you don't know why or how it just happened? How are you gonna explain that? I feel like they would try to hide it, but I know it would get out eventually. I feel like when it got out, it wouldn't make a big deal. Like in uh, uh business wise, it wouldn't make a big deal unless it's a business about seasons or something.
Calendars all change.
Calendars would be weird. Calendars would change. But I feel like
Here's. Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
so, for instance, all the big companies like online that have a big online presence, like BuzzFeed and shit like that. I feel like
They'd get a field day.
I feel like BuzzFeed and everything like that would just have a fucking like decade worth of theories of how this happened.
No. There'd be like quizzes. Which of the extra 35 days are you?
Yeah, that would be weird. Because how would horoscopes be?
Yeah, true. Horoscopes. No, the horoscopes, they're thingies. They're
Wait,
dials
would
would
we
just become
invent
bigger.
a new month of the year?
An extra 30 days, maybe, yeah. We would. We'd either prolong the months, we'd create a new. Schools would be long.
I feel, yeah, that would be something. I feel like we would have a new month, but we also might add on days to other months.
It is a 35-day thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like what would happen is the days
more
that
months
have
might have
30.
30 or 31 days.
No, I'd say all the months that have 30 days would turn into 31.
Yeah.
February would turn into 29. And then we'd have a new month that has 30 days.
Yeah. That would be. But what would it be called? What would they call it?
Oh, they'd name it after some person. Probably, because
You know what? Yeah.
July and August are named after. Because Julius Caesar was like, you know what? I want 2 months named after me. Julius Caesar, July. Augustus, whatever the fuck his last name was, August. There we go, 2 new months. That's pretty much what happened with that. Quick rundown. But my rendition on what would happen if, say, the Earth away would be humans would immediately, not humans, but there would be many places that would notice because there would be a drastic weather change. The place would become colder, very slightly, but it would become colder.
Wait, would that solve global warming?
It wouldn't. It would prolong it. It would mean that it would take longer because we're not going back.
Bro, Elon Musk, you got like 5 more days.
What would happen is the world would become colder, and depending on how far back, if we're saying we will go to exactly 400 days, I don't think it would go into an ice age. Just yet. I feel like we'd either be just on the brink of ice age, or it'd be like an extra like 50 days away from an ice age.
Here's what I want to say. Why the fuck would you wish for that?
Who the hell knows? We're just gonna say we will. That's what happened.
We're just gonna say we got brainwashed.
Someone was stoned.
We're just really fucking stoned.
But I would say it would immediately get out. There wouldn't be a week of waiting. The government tries, but they will completely fail.
I believe
it would be covered on every news source. It would be covered on every social media.
That's the one thing I don't agree with. I don't think it would immediately go.
How so?
I don't think it would immediately go out. If all of a sudden, overnight, it happened, I feel like some people would notice there's something weird going on and it's not normal. But I feel like if you discovered it, you would try to let it out. People won't. I feel like the government would try to hide it. I don't think they would be able to hide it forever, but I know that they would try. I feel like they would.
The maximum it would say a secret would be a day. My reason being, NASA would notice this kind of things. Think about
Yeah.
it. We all every day we notice the temperature change. Every day, every month, every year, whatever. We notice the temperature change. We notice when our planet tilts an inch of an angle from when it's changing seasons. We
Humans
notice
would
all these
notice.
things.
Humans would notice, but they wouldn't know what it was. They wouldn't know what's going on.
No. We have spacecrafts up above in the sky that would notice these things.
Wait,
it would be completely
do you
timed.
think the planet might take out other asteroids? So, like, asteroids would go into the planet because it's moving away?
I don't know. But
because like we have things revolving around our planet. If it all of a sudden moved, wouldn't it move into things?
In the path of different asteroids, if an asteroid were to come, it could.
But there's
theoretically
like a trash belt around Earth, right?
I don't.
I think I read something somewhere. I don't remember where. But Earth is slowly getting its own ring of space junk.
I don't think that's true. But I don't know. But the thing is, with us moving away, we're saying that it's gravitation. That is, we're just now on 400 days instead of 365. Everything is still 24 hours and everything like that. Technically, we still rotate at the exact same speed. But we just take 400 days instead.
Huh. Do you think they would, like, actually make that do you think they would make schools stay in longer, or would they just add it on to summer?
No, they'd make schools stay in longer. Because it's a longer year, they'd make schools stay in longer. Maybe days would become shorter.
I feel like it would depend on what month it was when it happened.
I would no, because these kind of changes, these would take a while to implement. Like, even if we did it in the middle of December, where they have time to do, we'll say, the next calendar to include an extra month, these kind of changes would take forever to not forever, but these would take a good period of time to implement and actually happen. I love how this was meant to be a really quick thing. Just
Wait,
what
would happen to certain, like, structures outside?
Like, I'm say
so. All these fucking sun clocks that people have, those would be destroyed.
Oh yeah.
They wouldn't work.
Oh yeah, those would have to get destroyed. There have to be new clocks.
But okay, so I don't know. I feel like you know about it, but there is I don't remember where it is, but there's like an island with a tribe of cannibals that's untouched by humans because everyone.
Yes.
But what happened to people like them? People cut off from society.
Oh.
Like in Russia.
It depends on what would happen to our weather.
There's a story about something in Russia where there was a family that during some wars went 100 miles away from society. And then like these scientists found a crop of land that they planted. So they went there and they were completely cut off. They didn't know about technology. Well, like certain types of technology. They knew about guns and stuff like that. But they didn't know about TVs. Or anything like that. What would happen to people like them? Because there are many people like them. There are people cut off from society that cut themselves off.
Depending on what would happen. That's the thing.
What would happen to crops?
Oh god. We're still going by 24 hours. We'll say that it's still 24 hours.
Yeah, but...
Because technically the solution to the 400 days...
we would have to completely redo farming.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing.
Do you think there would be a famine?
Oh, famine? With us, in this day and age, well, first world countries, I wouldn't say there would be. Because we have a lot of processed foods.
Yeah, but here's the thing. All those processed foods have to come from somewhere.
True.
Once those run out...
We have a lot of artificial places. And also, the sunlight. We still get enough sunlight. That's the thing.
We would get enough sunlight, but the thing is, everything...
And rain and everything.
Yeah.
The crops in more northern countries, those would suffer. Because moving that bit away could create utter hail snowstorms, complete horrible things. It would cause most likely flooding in many places,
What about
and
Florida? What would happen to Florida?
probably die. I'd say you'd get a colder climate.
Uh-huh.
A lot of places would get a colder climate due to that. But with the way humans are going, it wouldn't last too long. And by long, I don't mean like a year. I mean like 100 to 200 years, and we'll be here now. With the way humans are going.
Well, I feel like more things would suffer than we think, because
Oh
if
yeah.
crops die in certain areas, that affects everything in that area. And that area, if it produces meat, if they don't have crops to feed their animals, the animals will die. Or how big they are and how much meat comes off of them will suffer. Therefore, it affects it's like a chain. Wherever food is grown, it can affect places across the world.
Oh yeah.
Japan would suffer immensely.
Oh, there are many places that would suffer huge famine and just suffer in general.
How cold Japan is, and the amount of snow on the, what is it? I don't know if it's northern or southern half. There's a part of Japan that is like a fucking taiga. I feel like Japan might get turned into a taiga, like parts of it. Like the middle of Japan, I feel like that might turn into an extremely cold area.
Oh yeah.
And the top
Definitely.
of Japan, oh my god, imagine how cold it's gonna be in the northern and southern hemispheres.
Oh yeah. Think about Russia right now. It's also cold.
Dude, Russia would be fucked.
But that's the thing, the amount of flooding that would create, because due to tidal things, tidal cycles.
Aren't the tides controlled by the moon, though?
It is.
Wait, are we talking about the moon would move with Earth, or would it just
It
stay?
would move with us, it'd still be in our atmosphere. But
Wait,
at the same time,
if we moved Earth, would the moon have to come back to Earth? Or would it just stay in place or go somewhere else?
We're gonna say that the moon is staying.
Okay.
It's staying in our atmosphere. The atmosphere that it adapts perfectly to where it's still.
So the atmosphere around Earth and everything like in a, let's say, 12-mile radius of Earth stays.
12 mile.
I don't know how far away things are. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, we're gonna say the way it is now, we're literally just taking it and moving it back.
Okay.
It's the same, we're just taking it and moving it back, so we're just a bit further. A lot of things would suffer. Global warming would not be. That's the thing. It's a funny thing that if we moved it, would global warming be solved? It would not. I don't think it would. But at the same time, it would help. It would give us a bit more time to help.
It would give humans a long time to readapt, which means with that time that we could have global warming continuing to get hotter and hotter, it would kind of cool down just a tiny bit. Along with
but
it
how
moving
much?
Back.
Let's say how much, but how much suffering would be created due to that? So, like you said with crops.
I feel like the Earth would be better, but the people and things on the Earth would be shit.
See, here's what I propose: move the Earth way back, or you know what? Keep the Earth where it is. Kill all the humans. There we go. Problem solved.
Humans are why Earth is dying.
Literally. There was a thing of if we dialed down the time of the Earth, the Industrial Revolution happened around 200 years. If we all dialed it down to, I think it was an hour, the Industrial Revolution didn't even happen like a second ago.
Wait, what do you mean?
So we'll say we're gonna take the length of the we're gonna pretend there's a start of the universe.
So are we turning the length of how long Earth has been alive to like an hour?
We're gonna go from the quote-unquote Big Bang to, we'll say, the end of the Earth, which is, we're gonna say from start to finish it's an hour, right?
Yeah.
Us fucking up the Earth took less than a second. Which is completely fucking bizarre. To think that it only took us 200 years to this much. Let me check on the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution. It started in 1760, so about 200, 300 years ago, right? Took about a second for us to fuck up the Earth. This badly.
Jesus. We're
That's a lovely little note.
We're basically fucking traveling from. We're planning on traveling from planet to planet, fucking up each one like we left.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
basically a never-ending party that fucks up everywhere it's been.
Exactly. Literally, the solution to stop global warming, instead of stopping, using shorter shots.
I feel like if the universe is ever in danger of completely ending, it'll be humans' fault.
Nah, we'd be dead by then. It'd just be time. After this tastes like shit.
I feel like humans might be dead, but I do feel like before the human race,
gonna be.
I feel like before the human race dies, if it does not die on Earth, it will have planted itself in alien civilizations.
I feel like when we're talking about the thing of humans and the topic of humans, I feel like that's gonna be like a 3 to 4 hour.
Humans are fucked. Yeah.
That is gonna be a really good thing to talk about. What would happen to us, and how we become extinct. Ooh, I'm gonna put that as a topic. Anyways, you want to start ending off the video?
So I don't know how I'm gonna end this off, except for.
Okay, so all we did pretty much. Let's do a quick conclusion. Quick conclusion of what we talked about.
The humans are shit. Planet X, the photos are probably not real. Maybe.
They are not real.
The photos are not real of Planet X. Aliens definitely fucking exist. What else?
Let's see.
Planet X might be in a giant orbit, of something else other than Earth, but unlikely.
The sun, you mean?
Yeah, other than sun, I mean.
And that's pretty much the conclusion.
But these are all hypothetical.
Bessie gets on too many goddamn rants.
Yeah. But these are all hypothetical things. These aren't like proven.
It's
facts.
hypothetical, but at the same time, some of them can be true. Not can be, are true.
Yeah. There has the Planet X photos are definitely fake.
Oh yeah, they're fake. That's the one thing
that is the one
we can all take away from this.
And all the photos of Planet X are fake or drawn up as sketches of what it might be.
Fake news!
Drama alert, get on this.
It's Killer Keemstar here. Anyways, I'd say from now on it will probably be live streamed as someone.
We're gonna have fucking us sitting in chairs.
Oh yeah, I'm working on a bit of art.
The chairs are empty right now for reasons of art.
We're invisible right now.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, we're just
we got
we're
the
just
genie,
yelling
right?
at you from the other rooms.
No, Paul, remember the genie? We have to become invisible, and this is our payment.
The genie, okay.
Instead of wishing to be away, we decided to wish to be invisible.
Yeah. But we forgot to wish for a certain amount of times. It's like gonna be worn off in a while.
Who knows when it'll be worn off? If needed, I'll paint you to me. It'll just exist that way.
It's fucking shoes.
I'd say this will be a nice way to sign off.
Oh yes, we are both naked, by the way.
Fuck, shut up.
We can't see each other, so it's totally fine.
I am wearing a pair of socks. Fuck.
It doesn't show up then. You asked for your socks to be invisible.
That was my second wish.
Oh. You stole 2 wishes, I got 1.
Oh, okay, and this is a perfect way to sign off, being naked in a pair of invisible socks.
Okay.
Sayonara.
Bye.